Hello， 大家好，歡迎大家嚟到 EASTPRO Gallery 嘅舉辦嘅當醫生愛上攝影嘅分享會講座。而家大家人人一機在手，影相就極為方便啦。咁我哋可以從日常嘅生活啦、人文啦、社會時事同埋紀實嘅方面去作為我哋嘅攝影主題。而家我哋好榮幸邀請我哋3位醫生嚟去講述佢哋嘅攝影心路嘅歷程。而第一位係我哋嘅黃啟剛醫生 KK Wong， 而佢係主要咧係2019年啦。佢出發咗去咗古巴去攝影嘅，咁佢出咗一本書叫做《Le Brenner Cuba 攝影集》同埋黑白嘅街拍攝影嘅心得。以下時間我哋交俾 KK， 好得。
Thank you. So anyone who don't understand Cantonese in this room? Otherwise, I will speak in Cantonese because it's my mother tongue. Sorry, so I will speak in English first, okay? Don't worry, no worry. It's very lucky to be here with two of my very good friends and distinguished photographers, Diana and Dr. Zhang. And I went to Cuba in 2019 Easter and have a very wonderful trip and capture many good photos there. As a result, I published this book with the help of Josephine of EASTPRO. And I'm very happy to meet Josephine, who's supported me wholeheartedly, and also introduced both my friends. So we are all making very good, happy contribution to our books. So I'll just start by looking at the front cover of this book. This photo, the reason why I choose this photo as the book cover, because in Havana, it's very dark at night time, and it's very difficult to make a good photo out of the poor lighting. You see many photos in Cuba, they're mostly taken in daytime. You very seldom see some photos taken at night time because it's almost impossible to make a good lighting. Now this photo I taken on the street just after the rain, so you can see some reflections at night time. And first, actually there is the son of this man and a van in front of the camera. So I just wait there for at least 10 minutes. So the boy and the van move out of my sight. Then I take this photo with the help of the rain reflection and the car light. Otherwise, we cannot take this photo. So you have to have some patience when you want to take a good photo at these demanding lighting conditions. And also, when I designed this book, I use the colors also of my own choosing, because I think the green and the yellow will match this photo very well. And also, the name of the Havana inside is in purple color. Why I used purple? Because Cuba was called a violet island long time ago. So there is some meaning to the way I choose this color. The yellow and the blue color was chosen with no particular political implication in mind, because it was too long ago, all right? Before anything happens, okay? Can someone help me to? Yeah. I can't do. You come like this now. So the book is divided in several sections. The first one is in the morning light, which is one of the more dramatic lightings which you cannot find in other parts of the world. These are taken early in the morning, around 7 a.m., when the sun was just rising up, and you can see the dust and the sunlight shining directly from the horizon. And we live in the hotel, which is the oldest street in the old town. So when you get out of the door at 7, we can immediately start shooting with some dramatic lighting conditions. When the fancy cars and motorcycles and people going to school, working, etc. And Cuba, Havana is full of colors. You can see the yellow, red, green, and all sorts of colors. People are always staying in the street morning till night, probably because they have very poor housing condition inside. So you can always have some people for you to take photos morning till night time. I want to go back to one of the photos here. Yeah, this one. One page forward, please. Yeah. One. Can you advance for me? Oh, yeah. One more page, please. One more. Look at the photo at the right-hand side. They have to line up for eggs and breads every day. So the woman is so happy with eggs and breads. They only have basic needs. And I think 10 years from now, if you visit Cuba, it probably will be the same. I don't see any big improvement in their lives. So every morning, the left-hand side, they just line up for buying daily necessities. And they're happy if they can get enough food for the day and nothing more luxurious. And the kids in this photo. They are poor, but they're happy. Now this boy on the left-hand side, his eyes will look so innocent, and I make his shot of his eyes as the last page of my book. It's very memorable. Dancing is also a special feature of Cuba, and also the barber shops. So the last chapter is the night photo, which is often taken in a very difficult conditions. But I found that very interesting because you seldom have the chance to shoot such a low night condition anywhere else in the world. So you can see these people are dancing and walking in the street. and they are poor, but they look not that unhappy compared to people in Hong Kong. Okay, and with the last two photos of my book. Yeah, on the right-hand side, you can see the boy with his innocent eyes, which is very unforgettable. Okay, this is the end of my presentation here, and now thank you very much. Any suggestion or question are most welcome. After the presentation, I'll let Dr. Zhang continue the talk first.
好多謝 KK 嘅精彩嘅分享啦。咁咧，古巴嘅街頭攝影啦，就好有人文色彩啦，同埋顏色豐富，加上佢嘅光線對比咧，係咪令大家都好想去古巴走一轉呢？好啦，以下第二位咧介紹嘅醫生咧就係張永倫醫生。咁啊，醫生咧主要咧係本身咧就影開呢個生態雀仔嘅攝影嘅。咁喺2017年咧，佢就咧去轉讀呢個人文攝影。咁樣佢就主要係深入啦一個香港嘅土地問題，咁啊包括棺材房、天台屋同埋呢個咧露宿者嘅。咁而呢三個群組咧，亦受到咧各界嘅關注。咁啊，張醫生亦都深入其中啦，將最真實一面咧係咧拍攝咗出嚟嘅。咁以下嘅時間啦，我哋就交俾張醫生去分享啦。
Presentation is describing my experience during the photography career. We start with. Is it on the book on itself? So you take away all the previous one. Yeah. So let me concentrate on. Yeah. So I used to take pictures for the birds since 2016, and later on I joined a Master of Arts course in photography in 2017. And based on the experience in bird photography, I thought I can go through this course on nature photography. But the tutors saying that I'm not going to pass or graduate with this, so eventually I have to find something else to have a project to get graduated. And yeah, before I go to the main topic, perhaps you see some of my work in the nature photography. So all this are taken locally in Hong Kong, and we just have a very quick view of what I've done. Next slide, please. Yeah, showing all the kingfishers in Hong Kong. Only 4 types of kingfisher. Next slide, please. Common kingfisher. The last side is the white-breast kingfisher. Next slide, please. High kingfisher. And the last one is the black-capped kingfisher. And, well, usually we concentrate on the flying version of the bird because it's most difficult to take and most technically demanding. And next slide, please. These 3 are these terns currently in Sai Kung. We take a bow to have a close view of them. In taking the fine version of the birds, we need a very high shutter rate and high ISO. Most of the time, we need a very powerful camera and lens. Next slide, please. And apart from the fine version, there's also a portrait mode. Using the portrait mode, we're taking birds in the stationary. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. And we usually like to take pictures of the owl. So all these are in the new territory. Search for them, well, every now and then. Next slide, please. Yeah. Because they're usually active in the nighttime and they're difficult to catch, so we use a very high ISO with a very slow shutter speed to capture the look. Yeah, next slide, please. Next slide, please. These are in Chiwanshan of the close to the city. Next slide, please. This one is in Sanlangtam. Yeah. Next slide, please. This one is in Namchong of Sa Tau Kok. Next slide, please. And apart from the birds in flight, the portrait, we usually look for the feeding of the baby. And this one is taken in a place near Yuking Sansing. Next slide, please. And this is a sunbird feeding in Yunlong or Fanling, I forgot. Next slide, please. And this is taken in Homantin. You can notice that the parents does not have the same appearance as the baby, because the babies are not really his sibling. The other bird has thrown away the original eggs and put his eggs to the nest and let the baby to be fed by this blue magpie. So in fact, the parents is feeding the babies of another bird. Next slide, please. This is behind the scene. Huh? So we, next slide, please. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So we come to the main topic of this talk. Well, this is the name of my project for the master course. Next slide, please. But before I show you the pictures of my project, we got a designer impression of my pictures. And Mr. Teddy Lam gave me 3 icons representing the 3 groups of people I'm shooting. The top of the world is describing the rooftop trailer. There are no prisoners, describing the cubicle tenant, and down to earth is representing the street sleepers. So next slide, please. And the artist, after seeing my work, draw pictures, outline all the salient point of my pictures, showing the rooftop trailer, the cubicle tenant, and the street sleeper all in one picture. And this is Miss Tan around. She's not around. So, and this one is a poet written by Dr. Wen on the floor. Yeah. He's a poet disguised as a surgeon, so he's really describing very good for my pictures. So maybe you need a few seconds to read all the words. Yeah. So next slide, please. So the first group is the cubicle tenant. Well, we've been taken to this place by a social worker. Well, I'm often asked, well, these people are already so poor, so fallen. Why are you still taking pictures? Well, the way I answer them is, if you are not showing them to the public, people won't know how poor they are, how desperate they are. So this one is showing upper deck and lower deck of this cubicle. The lower deck and upper deck has rental price difference of $200. If you are living on the lower deck, you pay $200 more because you do not have to climb up. So the rent at that time was $2,200. If you are living on the upper deck, it's $2,000 per month. So next slide. It's another angle, showing how people are staying. Huh? I don't know. Next slide, please. This one shows how the landlord wished to increase the return by building one more cubicle at the corridor. Yeah. Probably he need a ladder to climb up to his room. Yeah. Next slide, please. This is a view, an eye-level view from the outside. This one being a bit not too. You need a stick to walk, so you need to take the lower deck. Next slide, please. This is a view from the air vent. Sometimes they got electric air vent. Next slide, please. Sometimes there's no electric air vent, so we can see through the air vent. There's a tenant on the left lower corner, like being in prison. Yeah, you got the impression that the tenant was a prisoner. So that's why the designer gave me an icon. We are no prisoners. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is another eye-level view. Next slide, please. So looking on the inside, in fact, they are keeping this place very tidy. And you got everything inside. You see there's a TV, kettle, rice cooker, alarm clock, everything. Next slide, please. And this one shows how claustrophobic was. You really cannot stand up. You hit your head when you stand up, so you can only sit down. Next slide, please. And yeah, that's how they taking a supper with a tray. Yeah. Next slide, please. Some of them are not that bad. We got a headroom for you to stand up. Next slide, please. This one is rare because I think there's only one or two left. We call the cage man. Next slide, please. It's another view of the cage room. I like the banner on the right upper corner. 高呼吸神. Okay. Next slide, please. And this is a better version. In fact, the landlord may be living there as well, but they usually take the innermost unit because they got the window and better ventilation, whereas the tenant would take the unit inside. Next slide, please. And another version of the cubicle tenant is those with a three-level bunker. 三角. Next slide, please. And they also got his and hers, but not the his and hers in this 住宅, but the his and hers in sharing the toilet among perhaps a dozen people. Yeah. Next slide, please. And got a separate electric meter. Next slide, please. And we come to the street slipper. This one got a very big contrast with the street slipper sleeping on the floor in the garden. This is the 東洲街公園 in 三水埗, in front of the high-rise luxury building. There's a big contrast. Next slide, please. And this one just come down from the mainland and got nowhere else to stay, and they just go to the park and stay there for some time before they can get a flat to live. Next slide, please. What makes up the street sleeper is some of them are drug addicts, some of them are ex-prisoners, some of them are mentally ill, physically ill, which are rejected by the landlord, not going to rent the flat to them, even the flat is such a poor condition. So they're forced to stay on the street in the park. And I'm lucky to take some pictures after they've taken their drugs. They usually went into a catatonic state after the injection. And you notice that once they got the drug injected, they just freeze themselves into whatever posture, even they forgot to pull up their trousers after the injection. Next slide, please. Yeah, you hoi chan. Okay. They're making up their own formula. Next slide, please. There's another catatonic state. Next slide, please. Yeah. They will stay there for a while in this catatonic state. Next slide, please. Yeah. This one shows how they wrap up themselves with, to have 好似床墊同埋被咁樣夾埋一齊。Next slide, please. So what the usual street slipper look like? Next slide, please. And next slide. You know, the government are discouraging people from sleeping on this facility in the park. So they purposely build up something in the middle, be a bar, be a wooden structure, so that you cannot sleep properly through the night. So the previous slide. So this gentleman, while they are going to spend the night, he designed something to extend the end of the what you call the table, and anchor the extension to a sleep to 車仔, put up an umbrella and sleep through the night. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. And this one, similarly. Next slide. Originally, the design was like this. The iron arch was set up to prevent people, to allow people only to sit but not to sleep. So this gentleman used a wooden prop, put it on the iron bar, and sleep on it. And we can call them innovative and creative. So next slide. Next slide. Lastly, the rooftop trailer. Don't allow them that have having so goodwill, so fresh air, so many space comparing to the cubicle tenant. Often the rooftop trailer are living on the 10th floor 唐樓. So every time you need to climb up 10 flights of stairs to come back home. and most of them the house are typical, so it's warm in the summer and cold in the winter. Next slide, please. And in one of them, I spot this very encouraging, never give up, written on the wall. Next slide, please. And the last group is neither a cubicle tenant nor a street sleeper, but they're living in a 24-hour McDonald's. We call them a refugee. But nowadays, because of the COVID-19, there's no more 24-hour McDonald's. So I was told some went to the airport. This airport has got air conditioning, Wi-Fi, toilets, everything.
Become airport refugees.
Yeah. Next slide, please. And if you want to feel how they are really living for the street sleepers, there's a movie currently still showing starred by Zhanyu is quite good in performing reels as a real street sleepers. The way he injects the drugs, the way he becomes catatonic is really quite realistic. And the other one by Gofusek, next slide. It describes the refugees. It's filmed in 2019, but you can always go back to see. There's also another film called Longman, but that was a 2012, a long time ago. Next slide, please. And we conclude this by a project taken by me in Tokyo. Because the street sleepers in Tokyo is quite attractive. Yeah. Next slide, please. Using the late Michael Wolff. Michael Wolff has also taken some pictures for them. Michael Wolff also labeled them Walkman. We call it the boxman. Next slide, please. A family man. So it's a deserted man outside pictures of a complete family. It's already quite a big contrast. Next slide. Some of them put up the coin phone and use a paper box. All these people are working in the daytime. So after 10 o'clock, they just bring the box, the belongings, and after 10 o'clock, they settle down. And because there was still light, I was able to take the pictures. Next slide, please. We call it MIB man. Next slide, please. They even take in the proper pajama. Next slide, please. Yeah, put on the umbrella, shield themselves, all this stuff. Next slide, please. Yeah, street man. Yeah, there's the last slide. Next slide. Yeah, next slide. Cool man. Okay, this is the last slide. Next slide.
好多謝阿張醫生嘅分享。咁張醫生咧咁貼地嘅分享啦，其實原來張相都係得來不易嘅。咁特別係我最覺得尤其是香港住嘅房屋嘅問題啦，因為啲人係因為交唔到樓，即係交唔到租上唔到樓，而住喺一個好狹窄嘅房間裏面。我唔知大家會有咩睇法啦。咁樣其實而深水埗咧呢一方面咧，其實好大家值得去反思嘅。咁而家我哋第3位咧就交俾阿陳偉思醫生啦。陳偉思醫生咧，佢2019年啦就去咗呢個成都旅遊嘅。咁喺旅遊期間咧，佢一個好深刻嘅體會就係拍一個陶瓷嘅 陶瓷嘅製作工場嘅。而喺呢一輯相片裏面啦，佢會對生命有一個重新嘅睇法。咁我哋而家就將呢個時間交翻俾阿陳醫生去分享。
多謝。第一件事就好多謝大家今日抽空嚟到我哋嘅分享會啦。咁我哋可以有3個醫生可以一齊分享我哋攝影嘅樂趣。咁其實我個人呢，就其實呢，當醫生畢咗業嗰時呢，我哋就好快咁樣投入啲好繁忙嘅工作。咁真係我就冇乜時間去做任何嘢嘅。咁我除咗工作呢，咁就都要全心去投入我嘅屋企。咁都係得我嘅仔女大咗時候呢，我先多咗啲時間去發掘自己嘅興趣。咁就但係一開始冇幾耐呢，就中意咗攝影。好，咁我呢本書呢，其實就係好多相都係喺Sorry，I have to present in Chinese because all the photos are in China。咁我哋就喺呢本書呢，就好多相都係喺actually全部相都喺四川度影嘅。咁就分開3部分。咁第一部分呢，就係sorry，第一部分呢，就係去翻頭先黑色嗰個 slide 先，頭先再上個。咁第一部分呢，就係喺四川營京嗰度影嘅。咁呢度呢，就係一個地方好出名一啲黑沙陶瓷嘅地方。咁呢啲人呢，製作嗰時都係用於呢啲黑沙陶瓷有咗2000年嘅歷史。咁製作嗰時都係用一啲手工藝嘅即係傳統嘅手工藝嘅製作方式。咁而家呢啲呢，就已經係列咗為國家非物質嘅文化遺產。咁我以下有個少少嘅 video 係present 呢啲相嘅嚇。大家喺個 video 度都其實都睇到下嗰時嗰啲人製作黑沙陶瓷嘅製作嘅過程。咁呢啲相咧，而家就少少一啲個別嘅相。咁你哋可以睇到咧，其實我哋去到嗰時都係發覺佢哋係一個好狹窄、好細小嘅地方去製作呢啲黑沙陶瓷嘅。咁如果你再細心睇下啲相咧，其實就發覺佢哋嘅保護衣物其實係好少嘅。佢哋淨係戴頂一頂好破爛、好直情係破舊嘅、好直情爛咗嘅帽，咁就披住一啲好單薄嘅衣，咁就喺度做佢哋嘅開始做佢哋嘅燒呢啲咁嘅陶瓷。 咁呢啲咧個溫度咧，其實就收尾我翻嚟睇咧，就有成攝氏1000度至1200度嘅。咁初初我都唔信，但係就真係成1000度先至可以燒到呢啲咁嘅陶瓷出嚟嘅。咁就咁佢哋做嗰時，除咗喺個高溫嘅工作下工作咧，其實嗰度都好多濃煙嘅。咁我哋嗰時都未有 mask， 去到嗰時簡直又唔知道有咁嘅地方。咁就其實我哋做一陣已經係污糟邋遢啦、黑晒啦，咁跟住就會係好辛苦嘅。咁亦都睇到有啲人工作咧都冇乜保護嘅衣物，佢哋直情係徒手咁樣，亦都要落咗一啲呢啲窯嗰度去打理佢哋啲工藝品嘅。咁你睇下，亦都喺個好火側邊，就咁喺度工作。咁啲紅紅嘅烈火咧，其實就真係好熱嘅。咁佢哋亦都如果收到佢哋話收到一啲大 order 啊，有啲咩咧，佢哋可以由朝頭早好早凌晨或者好早嘅時間咧，就一度整日工作，咁就去燒呢啲。咁就咁你哋睇下佢哋做嘅環境咧，其實咧就係即係非常污染啦。咁亦都係好多濃煙啦。咁其實真係我哋都好出奇，點解可以一個咁文明嘅社會喺隔離大概2個鐘頭車嘅地方，喺成都隔離2個鐘頭車嘅地方，仲有啲咁嘅工作環境。咁佢哋嘅好多 occupation hazard， 咁就咁亦都睇咗之後咧，你亦都可能再睇清楚啲咧。其實佢哋做嘢嗰時都成日食煙嘅喎。好多隻不煙不離口喎，咁跟住咧就加埋呢啲咧，其實身邊我哋都發覺原來啲人都幾短命嘅，就大概即係50歲到已經好多問題嚇。咁燒好咗之後咧，啲黑沙咧就會擺喺地下度啦。咁啲人亦都係你睇到啲帽都爛嘅，咁就即係都係喺度不斷咁工作。咁做完之後咧，就會曬乾啲咁嘅佢哋嘅工藝品啦。咁呢個係另一個角度啦，睇到佢哋都係食緊煙，咁就喺度做緊嘢。咁跟住呢度係打磨啦，咁就跟住呢度就製成品啦。咁原來黑沙陶瓷都有成2000年歷史。咁而家咧啲人都會係都做咗好多好靚嘅工藝。咁就亦都好多係變咗啲工藝品，咁令人收藏嘅。咁就呢個係本書嘅第一部分。咁咁我將呢幅圖咧，呢個其實就係攞咗去考過英國皇家攝影學會嘅院士。咁第二部分咧就係喺老茶館個拍攝嘅。咁呢個老茶館咧就係喺四川一個彭鎮嘅地方，咁就距離成都大概1個鐘頭車。咁呢個老茶館咧就都有成100年嘅歷史㗎啦。咁每朝早咧呢啲工作人員啊、老細咧就會好早咁樣開始去燒茶。咁咧佢哋亦都嗰啲街坊咧就會好早咁樣去到呢個茶館嗰度去泡一包茶啦、吸下煙啦，咁就亦都係傾下偈啦。咁就呢個 sorry 啊，睇下啲表演sorry 啊。咁就咁佢就呢個係老細表演佢啲潑水嘅技術。咁啲人咧就好中意，除咗之後咧就會喺度打牌啦。咁我諗佢哋有佢哋嘅好悠閒嘅退休生活。咁就係一個好好佢哋聚集嘅地方、傾偈嘅地方。咁呢度嘅氣氛都非常之好嘅。即係影相嚟講都好有氣氛啊，好特別。咁就亦都喺呢個咁嘅文明嘅社會中咧，其實都比較難揾到一啲咁嘅老茶館。咁個老細係非常之好人嘅，佢係收佢哋sorry 啊，等先 back 唔 back 到啊 ？sorry 跳咗添。咁actually 可唔可以最後嗰2張 slide？ 咁其實佢哋就收佢好平，咁就收佢1蚊嘅啫，1蚊人民幣咧，佢哋就可以喺度坐成日嘅。咁呢張就最後一張 slide 咧，其實我都係拍出嚟，咁就睇到嗰個老闆咧就會收我哋拍照費10蚊，喝茶10蚊，跟住但係如果你喝茶卡拍照咧都係10蚊，咁咧其實就咁我覺得咧，呢個咧就係我全部嘅相片。咁跟住咧，其實呢啲相片都係啲寫實嘅相片嚟嘅。咁攝影都幾好，因為我哋可以攝錄咗嗰一刻。and then 咧，其實呢啲咁嘅人民生活啊，或者其他啲嘢咧，都可能頭先啲逍遙咧，都可能係即將會被成為一個歷史。咁我唔知幾時會完，但係即係攝影都可以做一個紀實啦。咁翻個題目咧，其實我覺得當醫生愛上攝影之後咧，我哋係即係張開咗我哋嘅眼睛，睇到好多嘢嘅。咁除咗世界上，我哋會睇到多咗世界上靚嘅嘢。咁其實亦都可以由個相機發掘咗一啲世界上比較特別啲嘅嘢，或者一啲人睇唔到嘅嘢。咁其實攝影都可以講豐富咗我好多人生嘅經歷同埋嘅感受。咁多謝大家。
好啦，多謝陳醫生嘅分享。咁四川成都啦，其實啦，除咗地傑人靈之外啦，地靈人傑之外啦，咁其實佢哋嘅老茶館啊、陶瓷館啊，都好有呢個嘅人文色彩氣氛嘅。不過咧，我想喺呢度藉着呢個機會啦，我想啱啱收到最新消息，戴安娜醫生啱啱考獲英國皇家攝影學會 Fellow 嘅事嘅，我哋俾個熱烈掌聲佢。係啦，我哋今日呢個分享會啦，亦都嚟到尾聲嘅啦。咁啊，再次大家今日咧好辛苦喺黃雨之下啦，都嚟到我哋嘅分享會，咁令到我哋咧呢個現場咧就生色不少嘅。咁我哋今日咧下午啦 EASTPRO Gallery 啦，我哋下午3點鐘有一個關於香港老店嘅新書發佈會，我哋請咗香港最著名嘅人文攝影家徐標先生嚟到我哋嘅攤位裏面。咁我哋嘅攤位 number 係1CB19，到時3點鐘見大家啦。多謝大家。